So
Yes.
first of all, I just want to ask whether you can see my slides and whether everything works properly. I'm really happy to be here today with you, and I want to present the Scalable curriculum model to empower rural use in open science through secondary research and peer-to-peer that we worked on together with our team. And well, basically, our target audience, as you can see on the presentation, was mainly the youth 15 to 22 years old, and mainly from the rural regions from different parts of Ukraine, and with a focus on communities that are near the war zones. And to start with our planning of the project, we have decided to understand what was the reason we have noticed at the university that many students who were coming from the big communities, from the rural urban areas or big cities, they had much better level of education comparing to their peers from small rural areas. So we have initiated several focus groups together with the students as well as the high school students to see what are the issues. And one of the most frequent critical barriers that were mentioned during our focus groups were the systemic obstacles to academic education, damage to infrastructure, and frequent power outages due to the war and common shellings that are especially common in the areas close to the front lines. Then limited access to advanced educational resources and mentoring, as students were not able to have some better courses, etc. And then what was one question that we were asking to everyone is whether they have ever heard about open science and what's that. And
Nadia, can we just tell you, we can see, it's not in presenter mode, your screen at the moment, so we're just seeing slides. And if you're moving through them, we're not seeing you move through them, sorry.
I do, excuse me. I will try to change it. Maybe this would be better. Let's do like this. Is it better now? Is it working?
We're just waiting for it to, it's doing something. We just can't see your slide at the moment.
Excuse me.
That's better. Yes.
Yeah, perfect. Thank you. Excuse me for those technical issues. So, and 80% of our focus groups, they have said that they have never heard of open science or secondary research. So they didn't know about that such opportunity overall exists. And after having those results, we have started on designing the big project that would enable students who are not living close to the infrastructure, especially laboratory infrastructure, as well as who are not able to go to the big universities, etc., how they can learn how to use open data, do research, and then, well, develop their competencies in open science. And what we have developed is the project that is called the Reuse Science School. And that's one that I want to present to you. And we have started, and it was really important for us that we have started with the soft skills module, which was really basic, and that showed students, especially those who were not really sure about their level of knowledge in computer science or bioinformatics or biomedical sciences, that you don't have to be super smart or have super big knowledge. You just can learn something new. So they were doing very basic things like sketchnoting, self-presentations. They were working together as teams for some very, very basic things. As well as on this stage, we have introduced the chat, which served as a very community forming structure. So in this chat, all participants were engaging together, talking with each other, and showing support to each other. After having this basic soft skill module, the project moved to the very intensive Python's phase of the project, where we have introduced 15 plus hours of online training in Python that encompassed all basic parts of what students should know about working with data with Python. They had variables, loops, functions, NumPy, pandas, as well as visualization. And what was also important, that the trainer was the bachelor student who has also came from this rural background. So she was able to not just teach the students, but also serve as a role model for them. After this big track part, all the participants, they had to work on the mini project, and was very independent, meaning that they had to find some data, whatever they liked. It might be in social sciences, in biology, in medicine. It's not, that doesn't really matter, whatever is interesting for them, and then work on it and analyze this open data set. After that, we have selected 40 best projects, as well as considering their background about what they had at the beginning, and then invited them to the very intensive bootcamp in Kyiv that focused both on the technical side, but also on the networking side, on the discussions, on the understanding what they can do forward, and how they can use this data to apply it in the real world of research, as well as to build a really strong, engaged community. And we are now somewhere here after the bootcamp, because they have completed it in May. And now the students are working on the joint group projects. We have created the groups based on their interests and their qualifications. And now they're working on their group projects that we want to present together with them on a big presentation this August. And what was really important for us is that the project was really big in scale. And here are the results of the people who are registered for the online phase. And we have 343 participants involved. And what was really important for us is that we have encompassed all of the regions of Ukraine, starting from capital, which is obviously was the biggest number of people registered, to the regions that are even currently occupied. So people were presented as IDPs from other regions of Ukraine. And also we have covered pretty big range of ages. In some regions, we had many people who were 10 to 14 even, so they're really young. And in some cases, we had people who were 24 and older. And about the results of this online phase that we have already completed, was that the average confidence of students in basic work with data has increased pretty noticeably. So it increased from 2.5% to 3.7%, and the measurement was done by, we have told them that about some basic operations with data, how to clean it, how to visualize it, how to how to make a box plot, etc., and ask them to self-evaluate their confidence in working with this or that method. And we got 47% relative increase in the confidence of working with data. And what was really also important for us is that we have collected the data on the whether they would recommend such curriculum in their communities, and whether they would love to become the trainers in the future. And the Net Promoter Score was all around 95%, meaning that almost all people would really love to recommend it to their friends, as well as 50 people expressed a desire to mentor future students, and 17 confirmed their willingness to become trainers in the future after completing the whole phase, showing that we can not just teach the students, but also multiply the results. What was really important in our case is the wartime context. So in the feedbacks, we have received many questions and concerns regarding the air raids, sirens, blackouts, and connectivity issues. So that's why we have introduced the asynchronous access to all of the courses, all of the recordings. They were published, and they are published openly. And also we had the mentors who were mentoring students pretty much full time, especially those who were in the unsafe conditions, because for us safety was the priority. And during the offline phase, these are real pictures of our students, and they gave the consent for us to share those. This is the time when they had to spend the whole night in the shelter due to the air attack. And that is why even before the offline, we have created really big set of protocols regarding the safety, evacuations, and shelters, and also prioritize psychological safety. So we had psychologists presented in all the sessions, and this was one of the issues that was also really reported, that students felt much better during the because of that support. And regarding the success stories, so the students who are now working on the projects, and it's interesting that it's connected to the previous talk, but one of the teams have decided to create a space microbiome life cycle simulations. So they're working on the tool that would take data from the papers, from the open sources, and then just sort of visualize and model their life cycle in space. As well as in more like bioinformatics parts, we had students who were working on the with open data about the diabetes. But what is interesting is, again, we were not telling students working just on the biology, so they have the space to choose whatever they're interested in. And during one of our talks, one of the speakers mentioned the problem was phishing, was taking money in phishing schemes. And one of the groups decided that they really want to focus on this more societal issue. And they have created a website that had a survey, as well as showing the tactics of most common phishing schemes, as well as the target groups, target audiences that were falling most in these or that tactics. As well as providing recommendations for those people how to deal with the issues, and they are planning to make this website public as well. And why did it work? Well, I have mentioned several of the issues, but some of them was that students were mentioning was the low threshold to entry to the school, because on the very beginning there was just a simple Google form that didn't require any experience, any questions regarding the skills, etc. So there was no fear of not passing or failing, and students really felt that whenever they come from, they feel welcome. Then we have we have enabled people to choose whatever level of engagement they want and they like, meaning that we had many of them really motivated students who were telling that, okay, I will complete the whole course, I will work on the projects. But we had several course participants that just said, I'm not really interested in working with science. I just want to attend one lecture, or I just want to learn this specific topic. And we were giving them permissions to do so. And in some cases, it worked really well, that after the one session, they became one of the most active participants in the whole school. Then what we have noticed that worked probably the best was the chat-based community, because even some of the active students have become mentors for other less experienced students just during the whole school without even our mentorship or support. Plus, after meeting so many people from different regions and seeing that they have the same problems, the same struggles as their peers, many of the participants were less scared to continue the course. Probably important thing was that the school was really adapted to different crises and unstable conditions, as well as it does not really depend on the laboratories or infrastructure. So whenever students have come from, they were able to join and benefit from the program. Now we are working on as I said before, on the conference for our participants, so they can present publicly their projects that they have completed, as well as we are going to write the manual for other communities and even other countries on how to work with such vulnerable population and how to teach them open science and bioinformatics. And just to end, I want to say that this project was implemented in collaboration with the EU for Use program and the GIZ Foundation. Just in case, if you have any questions or if you want to collaborate on any issues, I would be happy to do so. And feel free to reach out to me via the email. I think that's it. Thank you so much. And if you have any questions, I would be happy to answer those.
We've got time for one question.
one person who's got a question. No questions. Okay.